Welcome to New Plymouth for the Summerset Charles Tour UNLIMIT Taranaki Open here at New Plymouth Golf Club, Ngamotu Links, and we're so excited to be here. This course has played host to 4 New Zealand Opens over its life, and it's produced some fantastic golfing talent, including none other than Eisenhower Trophy winner Grant Moorhead. And this course really is a rite of passage for our biggest and brightest stars. Every one of them has played here and had to battle it out against these coastal conditions that are so unpredictable. But there is one player that absolutely loves it and thrives here. That is Josh Geary. In 2023, he won the Open. He then lost in a playoff the year after that to Mark Brown. Then he won again in 2025. What is it about this course that suits Josh Geary's game so much?
I generally flight the ball pretty low and pretty strong, and obviously in that strong wind it helps around here. And the short game is usually pretty tidy, so you're scrambling a bit around here when you're missing a few more greens than usual in the wind.
Your short game is one of your key assets. Why is that?
I don't know, self-taught, a lot of practice when I was younger, and just it happens to be, I guess, a pretty good technique for the short game, and years of missing a lot of greens.
What would it mean to you to do the three-peat here?
It'd be pretty cool, having Tauranga at the moment would be pretty cool to get 3 of these too.
Another player who loves New Plymouth Golf Club is their local pro, 2016 Taranaki Open champion, Dominic Parson.
Probably been here for about 14 years now. It's my only Charles Tour event. I've been in the final group a few times but never closed it out. You've got to drive it pretty good here. If you hit it in the trees, you're just forever trying to chip out and trying to judge the pace, getting it pin high into the greens. The bunkers are tricky. It's hard to read the putts. I kind of know all the breaks, so I've got a big advantage there over everyone. The westerly's probably the hardest one, which is it's over your shoulder for a right-hander. But the southerly's the hardest one because you 17s back into the wind of the par 5s, you can't reach them in 2, and that's a tough one. I had some 23 unders, I think, was won it 1 year here, and even pars won it. So it just depends on the weather. You just got to know how to control your ball on windy days because there's plenty of that here.
Steinlager presents New Zealand's finest, and one of the finest holes here at New Plymouth Golf Club is the par 3 14th. It's just over 120 metres long depending on where they have the tees, and there is danger everywhere. Out of bounds long, small deep bunkers at the front, a false front on the green, so the green's very undulating, and then you've got deep rough on the right and you're exposed. So this is a hole that asks our players a lot of questions.
14 is a bit of a menace. The green isn't super big, so anything in the middle of the green I think most guys are going to be pretty happy with.
Very tricky for such a short hole. I've seen some big numbers there. It's one of the ones where you're just happy to hit the green and one.
You really got to look at the wind because it's the most exposed. Just try and play front, get up and down, we'll sneak it on.
It's just a great par 3, probably one of the best par 3s because it's so hard and so short.
This is just another example of New Zealand's finest and one that can make or break a final round. And with the Summerset Charles Tour Order of Merit, every round counts.
Throughout the season, players accumulate points with the winner crowned at the end. At the last event up the coast at Muriwai Golf Links, Tyler Wood blew everyone away with an incredible performance, going 14 under in the last 2 rounds to win by 3. That result saw him skip to 2nd overall. However, after birdieing 3 of the 6 holes and beating Taranaki Sam Jones in the final match at the Brian Green Property Group Super Sixes in Manawatu back in March, and finishing tied 2nd with Mark Brown in Auckland earlier this month, Kerry Mountcastle sits alone at the top. With the winner receiving an invite to play the New Zealand Open and a chance to play on the Challenger PGA Tour of Australasia, there's everything to play for.
It would mean quite a lot because obviously the last few years, well, probably more than a few years, Josh Geary and Mike Hendry have had a bit of a stranglehold on it, and they're such consistent players in New Zealand and have played a lot overseas. So for me to be kind of in there would mean I'm in a pretty good spot. I will probably try to go to the European Q School later this year and try to get some status over there, depending on whether I get an invite into second stage or not.
With golf in New Zealand thriving, clubs right across the country are enjoying an injection of new opportunities, and that is evident here at New Plymouth Golf Club.
Well, this is my 7th year, and with 350 members at that stage, and then we had COVID thrown in, it has now grown to 700 as we have today. And it's been a big shift to cart usage, and with over 60, 70 carts now linked to the club, we've put a lot of investment into car paths over the last 3 or 4 years, and we've got a plan to keep continuing doing that.
And your junior program, what's that like?
Yeah, well, that's really run by Lucinda Searle from Taranaki Golf, and through the Futures program, and that's got a strong following from throughout Taranaki, and you see many of those that are coming through there are playing in today's tournament, so it's really starting to have its benefits.
One of those players is Ngamotu Links amateur on the rise, 19-year-old Jack Van Preen.
What do you love about this course?
Everything. Yeah, just you can't go wrong. How tough it is, how different it can be day to day.
At just 19 years old, where do you want to see your game over the next 5 years?
I definitely want to go to Aussie and try and go pro there and kind of see what I can get from that.
And what do you hope to achieve here on the home track?
Low-am would be nice, but no expectations is kind of what I'm aiming with.
Round 3 saw more challenging conditions and toing and froing at the top of the leaderboard. After flirting with the lead over the first 2 rounds, Ngamotu Links Club Pro Dominic Barson looked to put his stamp on the event with some beautiful touch from off the green. In brutal weather, Barson, after just 11 holes, carded 4 birdies, an eagle and 2 bogeys to take the lead. Playing behind the Taranaki local, West Auckland's Jake Meanhorst was 2 back. '24 champion Mark Brown was looking in control but came unstuck with a double bogey on the 6th. He's free off the pace. Having spent some of his golfing life here at New Plymouth Golf Club, Auckland's Cameron Harlock was enjoying the opportunity to draw on local knowledge. No bogeys on his card so far in round 3, he was looking very comfortable. Ahead to the par 3 12th, and our leader was staring straight into the wind, having to keep the ball flight down and out of the breeze. The strong gusts over the shorter putts make things much tougher, as Barson gave one back. Canterbury's Dominic Brett Kelly was rolling it well to find himself 3 behind. Wind is one thing, wind and rain together is another level. Umbrellas were kept on speed dial throughout the day. Again controlling the ball flight well, Barson found the green for his approach on 13. Meanwhile, ahead on the challenging par 3 14th, Auckland's James Hydes was on the hunt for his ball. Anything starting right of that flag is toast in these elements. Back to the leader with a chance to create some wiggle room. Extra focus and care needed to save par, even from short range. With the wind whipping from left to right, the starting line to take is at least 10 to 20 metres left of the pin. The local pro ended up short, an ideal place to pitch up from. Great touch and composure meant Barson remained leader. The group behind, Harlock bogeyed 13 and was lining up his approach into the exposed corner of the course. He would go on to make par, and with the dogleg 15th going the opposite way, Harlock chose to ride the wind and take on the par 4's green. Jake Meanhorst showing his skill in this sticky long grass. A powerful 320 metre drive, but with no green to work with, Harlock was unable to take advantage and settled for par. Brown had his chance to join the lead on 15. Same story for his playing partner. To 16, where the veteran gave 2 back to the field with a double bogey. While the former local stepped on his drive and found himself having to use his imagination, carry the bunker whilst also keeping it low off a bare lie.
With all the rain we had, I was probably a little bit fortunate that the dirt had compacted into sort of almost like a mud kind of lie. The ball was sitting super cleanly and I knew I had loads of green to work with, so it was just how can I get the best strike on it.
He converted his birdie and joined Barson at -5. The final hole is a friendly 426 metre par 5, a chance to claw one back for the big hitters in the group. He drifted slightly off course and was forced to shape the ball up the hill, grabbing the bottom tier of the green. The Ngamotu Links local converted his birdie and finished the day at -6.
I had it terrible today. I had it all over the golf course. I think I only hit 2 fairways and one of them kicked out from a tree into the middle of the fairway. But I chipped it in and holed a couple of 30-footers, which kind of got some momentum.
Not to be outdone, the man from Huapai Golf Club grabbed one back and sits one behind.
It
It was pretty hard at the start. There was a bit of wind, gusty wind, and it was kind of hard to pick the direction at times. I didn't find it too challenging. I just had a few brain lapses and hit the wrong kind of shot at the wrong time, and then just couldn't really get anything to drop on the back nine. So kind of hung in there, and game was solid. So hopefully some of them drop tomorrow and climb up the leaderboard.
Making light work of the 18th also, Harlock joins Barson at -6.
I just kept myself in it, really. I knew it was going to be pretty difficult out there, and I thought, there's obviously a good few chances coming home with the wind direction, so I just tried to stay in it as best as possible on the tough ones.
How do you manage these conditions?
I think it's just about being really in control of your ball, and it's picking shots that are probably more high percentage than what I'm normally used to, but around this place, if you know where the ball's going, it's going to help you a lot.
You versus the local legend tomorrow, joint leaders. How do you navigate that?
Oh, look, I know Dom pretty well, and I know he knows this place like the back of his hand, but I'm more than happy to play the villain this week.
Of the top 10, only 4 rounds were under par, which really spoke to just how difficult it was to control the ball out there. Young Louis Wright, another Ngamotu Links local with 5 birdies, a double and a bogey for a tidy -2. Defending champion Josh Geary, after a challenging first 2 rounds, found his groove with -1, made up of 6 birdies and 5 bogeys. Work to do for him to get inside the top 10. With another blustery forecast for round 4, and the top 2 well known to the locals, it was shaping up to be a real crowd pleaser.
Final round Sunday with more challenging weather conditions in front of us. Our informed players, they're rolling some putts, clipping some chips and getting dialed in on the range. With 2 local pros at the top, it's going to be an exciting day of some highly skilled golf action.
Straight out the gate, and the leaders were eager to get going. The change in wind direction meant the first hole became drivable. Co-leader Cameron Harlock went right, but so far so that he had a clear shot in. Not to be outdone, Huapai Golf Club's Jake Meanhorst with a quick reminder of his silky skills. While Dominic Barson surrendered 2 shots with a double bogey to start. Chaos on the first hole. Pressure back on Harlock as Meanhorst's approach game continued to impress. Harlock was unable to save par and again relinquished the outright lead. To the short par 4 third, more beautiful wedge play on display as Barson and Meanhorst grab one back. The veteran showed poise from the sand to avoid trouble on 4. The greens were running firm and true, much to the delight of the front group. Making up for double on 1, Barson showed resolve, but was unable to shake Harlock, who kept within reach. Next hole, and Meanhorst stayed in the fight. To 7, the wind doesn't just affect ball flight. On the green it can be brutal, particularly when it's downhill. So plenty of these types of putts are needed if you want to win. While the final group was jostling for the championship, Auckland's James Hydes was making a day of it on the other side of the course. He started at +6 for the tournament and produced a bogey-free 6 under. In these challenging conditions, it was an incredible effort, including a massive save on the 17th to keep the scorecard clean.
Yeah, that hole was playing pretty tough. Obviously hit it in the bunker and hit a good bunker shot, and then felt the nerves over the putt, but just, rolled it in. It felt real nice, and obviously really didn't want to make a bogey, so hit a good putt, and it was good. I feel like I'm hitting the ball probably the nicest I ever have, and, hitting good putts. Felt like everything came together a little bit, and felt like the kind of golf I should be playing,
After 9 holes and a tangled leaderboard, who would be crowned the Summerset Charles Tour UNLIMIT Taranaki Open champion was still anyone's guess. Struggles for both Meanhorst and Barson on the 11th. Then, a birdie from the Royal Aucklander gave him some much-needed breathing room, before dropping a shot on the 12th. Around the corner in the exposed area of the course, the wind was battering them from left and right. All players walked off with pars, which is no mean feat. On to the 15th, and where the squeeze came on, each of them found trouble off the tee. But again, the putting prevailed as Barson and Meanhorst both saved pars. The difference became just 1 with 3 to play. Bogey's not welcome as Harlock avoids the bunker for his second. The gap remained a single stroke as all three mirrored each other. Second to last hole as all drives catch the fairway. Unfortunately for Barson, he leaked his second while Meanhorst and Harlock found the green. The local was unshakable.
It was outside the hole, I had to go in, otherwise I wouldn't have had a chance because with how far Cam hits it, he's always going to birdie the last hole.
His playing partners both par 17. The last hole, keep the drive in play and it's basically a par 4. Harlock with a one-shot buffer. He benefited from luck as his wide tee shot kicked back into play off the tree line. The other two confident. From 190 metres, the leader needed to deliver to apply pressure to the others, choosing the safer line, landing pin-high left, having to back himself with the putter. His playing partner, from slightly closer with a 5-iron, took the tighter line and set up an unbelievable chance at eagle. One shot off the lead, Meanhorst was desperate for his chip to go in. From long range and the trophy on the line, he cleaned that up, which left Barson with a must-make to force a playoff. In which he certainly did, a sublime effort. The day wasn't over.
I saw it dead straight. It was going in at some pace. If it had missed, it would have been outside Cam's one, so that was good.
After some deliberation with the officials, it was back to the 18th tee. 426 metres is all that stood between these two and the title. Both balls were in perfect position from the elevated tee. From slightly back from where his ball was just moments before, Barson elected his utility club, trying to crunch it up the hill. Which he did with perfection, putting pressure on his playing partner to follow suit. Almost a carbon copy of his approach earlier. From there, it became a putting contest. A confident attempt down and across the slope left Barson with a putt for the win. To head back to the tee and do it all again. Absolutely heartbreaking for Harlock, but the composure of the local was just too good.
Obviously pretty disappointed with the way it finished, but look, there's so much to be proud of this week, and to Dom's credit, he came home really strong. I feel like I put my best foot forward, and you know, you want to put yourself in situations where you can compete for the title, and I did that this week, and it just didn't go my way.
Dom, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Where does this sit in your golfing career and highlights?
Oh, you know, you always like winning, but it's up there because it's your home track, you know, so it's always special when it's your home course.
Cam Harlock, he was looking commanding, professional all day.
Man, that boy's got some game. When he birdied 11 and Jake and I both made bogey with 3 behind, I just didn't think we'd catch him. So he just had a bad shot on 15 and hit it in the bushes and had to take a drop, made bogey, and I hold a 20-footer across the green for par because I also hit it in the bushes but found it. It was pretty awesome, man. It was good to see everyone out and cheering me on. It's always, you know, you don't get that when you're away playing around the world, but this was pretty cool. Pretty special.
What a fantastic tournament. Defending champion Josh Geary nudged his way into the top 10 with the 2-under final round, while Kerry Mountcastle finished strong on day 4. Which keeps him at the top of the Summerset Charles Tour Order of Merit. Dominic Barson climbs 23 spots to take second place over Waikato's Tyler Wood, and Cameron Harlock moving past 19 players to secure 4th.
Golf is such a hard game. Over 4 days, Cameron Harlock controlled his ball like the best in the world in super tough conditions. Strong winds, squally rain, so unpredictable. Not just strong winds, winds that change. And he shot 1 under in the last round and loses in a playoff with a 4-foot putt. got a feel for him, but also, conversely, credit to Dominic Barson, the local champion, going eagle, birdie to make the playoff and win it. Amazing.
The Summerset Charles Tour takes a winter break, but returns in September on the East Coast for the Christie's Floorings Mount Open. We can't wait to see you there.